Welcome to PastMaster, the show where we try and reshape history with the help of our AI-powered GameMaster. In today's episode, we meet the founding fathers of America and try and convince them to make some changes to the Constitution.
When you sidle up to Washington and whisper in his ear about equal rights, his eyebrows shoot up higher than a cat's back. He gives you a look that's part intrigue, part who let this fella in here. But I get that a lot.
This lunatic in.
But it doesn't all go to plan.
Instead of declaring independence, they doubled down on their loyalty to the crown.
Oh my god!
Believing it was the only way to protect themselves from witchcraft.
Tan, Keon, how you doing?
Doing pretty well, thank you. I am nursing various ailments from just being old and knackered, I think.
From watching the Olympics over the summer, you know.
Exactly, I feel tired just watching that stuff. I can't believe how much swimming there is in the Olympics. There's so many events, and it's just, I feel like it's just rubbing it in my face because I'm such a poor swimmer.
I do love the, have you ever seen Olympians versus normal people? So I saw this clip and it was like 10 lanes, so 3 to 1 go. 9 people dive into the pool, and then they're doing the butterfly crawl. And then they all swim and they go off camera, so you see about half the length, and they go off camera. And then what feels like forever, and there's one guy just standing there.
It'd be Adam Peaty or someone, and then they jump in.
He dives in, and then the camera pans and follows him, and he still wins. Yeah. And you're just like, oh my god, that's mad.
Yeah. So, well, our best Olympian here is you.
Exactly. I was about to say, hang on, we're talking about Olympics.
Been there, done that.
Come over here. Gold medalist, mate, in the very first one. So yeah. And I brought in a few new sports.
Congratulations again.
Yeah. Make sure you check out that episode if you haven't.
We could always go back and see how Claude would interpret.
No, I feel like Claude wouldn't be as kind to my endeavours.
He'd be a bit stricter, wouldn't
Yeah.
Oh, before we go any further, we should just remind people that we have got our first ever live show coming up on the 20th of October in South London at the Cheerful Earful Comedy Podcast Festival. So check it out. Tickets are cheap as chips. Come on down and take part in PastMaster Live.
Where can they buy tickets from, Tam?
Google PastMaster Cheerful Earful Podcast Festival. It will come up, I'm sure.
Of course it will. That's how the internet works, isn't it?
And we are, going to be live on stage in front of an audience.
Nerve-wracking. So, absolutely nerve-wracking.
Are you feeling
I'm
good about that?
I'm feeling completely excited.
Yeah. But come down and see us on stage, 20th of October.
Absolute hoot it's going to be.
And if it's not, we'll be having a commiseration pint at the end. So.
Yeah, we'll buy you a beer after.
Yeah. All right, so we've obviously not fully ditched ChatGPT. We still like ChatGPT, the OG, but we have been loving Claude recently. He's much stricter. It is much stricter. So we had a hard mode episode a couple of weeks back. Slightly too hard, I think.
A medley of disaster.
A medley of disaster. So we're still going to use Claude today, try and make it not as hard, but still quite enjoying some of the mad stuff that gets thrown our way.
That slips through the net.
Yeah. And there's still some surprises with Claude that you weren't expecting. Yeah. So I am quite enjoying that.
And what it's going to be kind of topical today, as we're recording this, we are in the sort of the build-up phase, I guess you'd say, of the American presidential election process. So there's a bit of a topical theme. Is that right, Ryan? What are you planning?
So at the moment, the American election is kind of all-consuming. Kamala Harris is now up against Trump, and suddenly there's a lot more energy in it. It feels very topical. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to go back and maybe meet the first president of the United States, or the original, group of lads that
the founding fathers.
Founding fathers.
Are they the guys on the rocks? Is that who are they? I thought the founding fathers was the Mount Rushmore. I thought they were the 4 founding fathers.
Right, I'm going to just have a quick look.
So I'm going to play this episode. I'm going to be the player. Keon, you're going to be the game master.
Cool.
So Tan, you can be the fact checker.
Fact check. Yes.
So, fact check number 1. Who's on the mountain thing? All I can think is, did you ever see that film Richie Rich?
Yeah.
With the laser.
That was sick.
So, quick note on Mount Rushmore. Gutzon Borglum selected these 4 presidents because, from his perspective, they represented the most important events in the history of the United States. Would another artist at that time, or perhaps a modern day artist, choose differently? Maybe. So that's why they were chosen. And they are George Washington, the first President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, and of course Abraham Lincoln, 16th President.
So I was on the right lines.
They're all Presidents of the United States. Yeah, you got the right idea.
It's not all founding fathers.
Right. So what are we doing, Ryan?
Well, I would like to go back to the founding fathers, and I've now decided that I want to be on Mount Rushmore. So I want to be a founding father, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, go back and maybe be on Mount Rushmore. I don't know how achievable that is.
And so how would one become a founding father? What qualifies you?
Well, I imagine my tactic of coming in very knowledgeable is not going to play well, because usually they just don't like you and throw you in a cell. So I don't know. I think I'll just add a little bit. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out.
All right, let's dive in.
Let's do it. What is your name, player?
My name is Ryan Ardo.
Oh, always the day one name. So, what era of history would you like to explore, Ryan Ardo?
I would like to go back to the founding fathers era so that I can become a founding father too.
Do you want to say at this point that you want to be on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, maybe just say my goal is to become a founding father and have my face on Mount Rushmore eventually. A bit like the time that you went back to the ancient Egypt era and built your face onto a Sphinx.
I forgot that. Are you, assuming you're successful, are you going to go for long-haired Ryan when you had it in a ponytail, or sort of more shorter? Like
they all had them wigs back then, didn't they? The white wigs.
Some of them did. George Washington certainly did, but the other guys not so much.
Oh, okay.
So man bun Ryan or slightly shorter hair Ryan. Yeah, I think probably man bun Ryan.
Man bun Ryan.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So it wants to know what skills or knowledge do you possess that might help you succeed in the era of the founding fathers, Ryan Ardo?
I have the ability to make people believe anything I say.
Oh wow!
Kind of like Darren Brown style.
I think you say like Donald Trump, just with his followers.
I got let's say it's like Darren Brown style. What's
mind control?
Well, it's not real mind
mentalism,
control, but it's persuasion.
Yeah.
It's not mind control because that doesn't exist.
Suggestion.
Yeah, the
Powers
art
of suggestion.
You got that?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to hear how it interprets that. Where they goes, can't do that. That's not real. It's like, no, Darren Brown can do it. Whatever he can do, that's what I can do. But in the past,
I think his on the internet he's described as a mentalist, which he thinks is quite funny.
Yeah, you mental mate.
It's not even questioned it. It just says, what personality would you like Game Master to embody? Oh, these are your three options. Benjamin Franklin, so he's witty, inventive, and diplomatically savvy.
Okay.
H.G. Wells, the visionary author of The Time Machine and a keen eye for social commentary. Or Dolly Parton, a charismatic storyteller with homespun wisdom and a dash of humour.
What's your Dolly Parton accent like? I think that could swing it.
Oh, for God's sake.
What is she? It's kind of like a hearty...
She's like cowboy, from Tennessee, innit?
Yeah.
So, not like that. All right, mate, I'm Dolly Parton.
I mean, it's no contest. It's obviously going to be Dolly Parton.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Working 9 to 5.
Dolly Parton, a charismatic storyteller with homespun wisdom and dash humor.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's great.
Here we go. So I'm just going to put 3 because I'm not in the mood now. All right.
Pissed him off.
Oh, for God's sake. It is written such long... Oh, come
on, Dolly.
What have you done to me? This is so long.
Right. Feel free to abbreviate.
I shall. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, sugar. Dolly Parton here, ready to take you on a wild ride through the birth of our great nation. Now, let's get this show on the road. As your game master, I'm going to be commentating on your journey like the grand old Opry, with a bit of down-home wisdom and a whole lot of sparkle. So hold on to your powdered wig, because we're about to make some history.
Weehaw!
Yeah. Now, Reinardo, I'm never going to listen to this.
You can do it.
Now, Reinardo, you're already sick of it.
Just go on, get through this. Get through this.
Now, Reinardo, you got yourself quite an ambition there, aiming to be a founding father with your face carved into round Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
That's like trying to write a #1 hit for your first time in Nashville. But honey, I always said, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. So let's see what you can do with that silver tongue of yours. For this playthrough, your victory condition is to become a leader of significant power and influence. That means you've got to work your way up from the bottom, just like I did in the music business. You'll need that Darren Brown style persuasion of yours to win over the hearts and minds of colonists and your fellow patriots. Remember, darling, you're starting with 3 lives. Don't go wasting them like bad lyrics in a love song. Now let's drop you right in the thick of it. The year is 1775, and the tensions with Britain are hotter than a firecracker on the 4th of July. You find yourself in Philadelphia, where whispers of revolution are on everyone's lips. The Continental Congress is about to convene, and the city's abuzz with politicos, merchants, and rabble-rousers. So, Reinardo, where in the city of brotherly love do you want to start making your mark? Will you head to a popular tavern to rub elbows with the locals and start spreading your ideas? 2, make your way to Pennsylvania State House, where the movers and shakers are gathering? Or 3, find a busy street corner and start giving an impassioned speech to whoever will listen?
Okay, so again showing well done. So 1775.
Yes.
So the Declaration of Independence was 1776, I think.
Wow, you knew that off the top of your head. This is like a proper history podcast with actual people that know things.
That was the one fact I checked before the episode. So I guess I need to get myself in with the movers and shakers. So option 2, I think, was probably the most sensible. So,
And that was to go where? To the...
it's like the State House.
Pennsylvania State House, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to go there, and I'm going to identify the top moveriest, shakiest people. I will
brainwash them.
Well, I'll introduce myself,
Okay.
and I'll tell them that I am an intellectual philanthropist and all-round good guy who's here for
A good time.
good time. No, and I've got some ideas of the future of what could be a great country.
Okay.
And I'm not wearing Union Jack waistcoats.
No, you're being bloody sensible
Yeah.
this time. Yeah, good.
Another episode to listen to if you haven't already.
So, I would comment, and I think that's great, but do most intellectuals introduce themselves by saying, I'm an intellectual? This is a little bit arrogant.
It is. If you have to say it, you're not.
You're not sure, are you?
Dolly Parton says, I like your style. She said a few other things, but we can skip that. As you saunter into the Pennsylvania State House, it's bustling with activity like a beehive in springtime. The air is thick with the smell of tobacco and a sound of heated debates. Men in powdered wigs and fancy breeches are huddled in groups. Their faces are serious as a preacher on a Sunday morning.
Okay.
Now, honey, I see you puffing up your chest and putting on your best influential philanthropist face. It's a bold move. What's that then? Let's see your influential philanthropist face.
Nice.
That was pretty convincing. I'm sold. It's a bold move, like wearing sequins to a funeral. But remember, these folks don't just fall off the turnip truck. They're sharp as tacks and twice as pointy.
Okay.
You spot a group that seems to be drawing a lot of attention. There's a tall, distinguished-looking fella with a commanding presence. That's George Washington. Next to him, a furry-eyed man is gesticulating wildly. That'll be John Adams.
Typical.
Good.
And over there, looking thoughtful and scribbling notes, is Thomas Jefferson. So, Reinardo, you've got their attention for a hot minute. What's your play? Are you gonna saddle up to George Washington and whisper some of your great ideas in his ear, using your persuasive powers to make him think they're his own? I also like the fact that she's put great ideas in inverted commas, like your great ideas. Approach the whole group with a booming voice, announcing yourself as a visionary with the key to America's future. Or focus on Thomas Jefferson, offering to help edit that document he's working on, slipping in some of your own ideas. Choose carefully now.
Well, I mean, I naturally love the idea. What was read number 2 again?
Approach the whole group with a booming voice, announcing yourself as a visionary. I'm a visionary!
Visionary incoming! Move out of the way! Move out of the way!
Sounds like Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's how he first got to Twitter HQ with his fucking sink.
Let that sink in. I mean, I kind of really want to do that, but also that's the one most likely to
Get you arrested.
get me arrested or whatever. So I will approach the group, smiling like, hey, like I fit in with huge confidence. I'll approach the group, like slap one of them around the shoulders. Oh, great to see you. Hey, love what you're working on there.
like an arrogant sort of alpha male working the room.
Working the room, saying little bits of like conversation to them as I basically worm myself. I'm picturing them like a sort of, a sports team before the match, a huddle, and I've just sort of basically scooched my way in and be like, guys,
what are we talking about, guys?
So
that's basically what networking is like, isn't it?
Yeah.
trying to get in with people you don't know.
So I'm gonna gonna do that, and then I'm basically gonna kind of do all of the things it said. So
Okay.
I'm gonna one of the little bits of conversation is I'll whisper into George Washington's ear. Oh, have you thought about equal rights for all the people of this great country? Would we called it a great country then, or this great potential country? And I'm definitely going to offer to help edit that document.
Okay, so whisper to his ears, you thought about equal rights for people, and then Jefferson, what are you going to do?
I'd be like, Jeffo, buddy, it's a lot of writing. Your wrist must be aching. Let me help you edit that. I've got some...
That big document you're working on.
Yeah, I can help you edit that lovely big document. I've got a keen eye for detail, and I'm a good spell checker.
And we think that this document is...
I'm guessing it's the draft of the Declaration of Independence. It could just be like his taxes or something. I don't know.
You've got what's your selling point here? You've got a keen eye for detail.
Oh, and I'm a good spell checker. Which is absolutely not true in real life.
He doesn't need to know that, does he?
I just go through with a red pen, just do little squiggly lines on the bits that he's got wrong.
He can do a smiley face when he's done something well.
Okay. Anything else?
Let's leave it at that, because we don't want to give them too much info just now. But confident, reassuring, and act.
You belong.
I belong, and I'm going to wait to see if they react badly. And if they react badly, I'm going to Darren Brown.
You're going to Darren Brown the shit out of them.
They're like, no, you do know me. Like, no, I am one of the lads, or whatever. Let's see how that goes down.
Okay. Well, slap my face and call me Sally. You're really putting on the Ritz, ain't you? Strutting in there like a peacock in a chicken coop. I gotta say, you've got more confidence than a rooster in a hen house. As you high-five your way through the room, I can practically see the powdered wigs bobbing in confusion. These stuffy gentlemen don't know whether to wind up their watch or bark at the moon. But I'll give it to you, Reinhardo, you're shaking things up. Now, when you sidle up to Washington and whisper in his ear about equal rights, his eyebrows shoot up higher than a cat's back. He gives you a look that's part intrigue, part who let this fella in here? But
I get that a lot.
Who let this lunatic in?
Who's that? And why is he here?
But you've planted the seed, darling, and in this soil, who knows what might grow. Scooting over to Jefferson.
That does sound very Dolly Parton, actually. Always sort of very positive, upbeat.
No, the words are very excellent. It's how she sounds, though. It's a bit sketchy. Scooting over to Jefferson, you offer to be his personal spell checker. Well, butter my button, call me Biscuit. Weird. The look on his face is priceless. He is more surprised than a possum in a pickle jar. But that keen eye for detail you mentioned, it's sparkling brighter than rhinestones on a rodeo queen. Your aura of confidence is spreading through the room like wildfire in a dry forest. Some folks are nodding along, caught up in your charisma. Others are scratching their heads, wondering if you're brilliant or just plain loco. But hold your horses, sugar. Your bold moves are stirring up some trouble. John Adams is eyeing you like a hawk watches a field mouse. He steps forward, his face redder than a tomato in August, and demands, "Who are you, sir? By what right do you presume to advise us on matters of state?" The room goes quiet. All eyes turn to you. This is it, Reinardo. It's your moment to shine or fall flat on your face. What's it gonna be? Are you gonna use your persuasive powers to convince Adams you're a long-lost, highly educated cousin of Benjamin Franklin, here to lend a hand? Come clean about being from the future, but spin it as a divine vision sent to guide them in forming a new nation? Deflect by starting an impassioned speech about liberty and equality, hoping to win over the crowd with your charisma.
I think telling them I'm from the future is probably not a good idea.
They're not going to have that, are they?
No, they will be burnt at the stake. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to deflect, but also mentalist him so that he never questions me again. I've got to be somebody that they would actually trust, wouldn't I?
What era was Franklin?
So he's one of the founding fathers.
Yeah.
He is one of the founding
He
fathers.
died in 1790.
Right, and we're in what again?
1775.
Oh, so he's still alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's 70 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
But, hey, I'm the long lost. I know it doesn't sound very convincing. And if he then rocks up and goes, "No, you're not," that could be a problem. What I'd like to do is I'm going to convince John Adams that I am a respectable intellectual philanthropist, but I'm going to do it in a way that not like flirty with him, but I'm going to sort of make him feel special, so that I kind of compliment him in a way that's going to bamboozle him and make him feel like
You're a feel-good guy.
Yeah. So like, I'm going to praise his intelligence and just make him feel so special that he doesn't realise that I basically bullshitted him.
So, but basically, by the end of this, everyone's going to be, that Leonardo guy. I feel so good when he's around.
The best guy. He's such a great guy.
He should be president.
Yeah. That's kind of
That's what you're going for.
and they won't know what it is about. It's like their charisma. They can't know it.
Just something about the way he speaks when he looks in my eyes. I just believe him.
I believe every word he says. So make him feel really special, charm the pants off him, and then I'm going to launch into my impassioned speech about liberty and equality, and show them that I can talk the talk.
Not just make them feel good.
Yeah.
She loves this. Well, butter my buns and call me something. Butter something and call me something seems to be the template here.
That's quite nice.
So, there you are, face to face with John Adams. You turn on that charm like a faucet, honey. It's flowing. Mr. Adams, you say, smooth as a Tennessee whiskey. Your reputation for intelligence and integrity precedes you, but I'm a humble philanthropist, inspired by great men such as yourself to contribute to our nation's bright future. Well, I'll be. Adams' face starts to soften like butter on a hot biscuit. He's puffing up with pride, looking like a rooster who just found the tallest fence to crow from. But you ain't done yet. You launch into that speech about equality and liberty, and let me tell you, it's more rousing than a gospel choir on a Sunday morning. Your words are flying higher than an eagle, painting a picture of future where all men are created equal, where liberty rings louder than a church bell on Christmas morn. I did say all people, not men, for anyone listening, but it's still gone with men. The room is hanging on your every word. Washington's nodding along, Jefferson scribbling notes faster than a squirrel gathering nuts. Even old Adams is looking at you like he's just hung the moon. But hold your horses. Just as you're reaching the crescendo of your speech, a distinguished gentleman in the back pipes up. Who do you think it is?
Benjamin Franklin.
It is Benjamin
But I never
Franklin.
said that I was long lost.
Yeah, no, you didn't say that, so yeah. He's got a twinkle in his eye. Very stirring words, young man, he says, adjusting his spectacles. But pray tell, how do you propose we implement these lofty ideas in our current climate? The Crown won't take kindly to such radical notions. The room falls silent, all eyes darting between you and old Ben. This is your moment, Reinardo. You charm the birds right out of the trees, but now it's time to show them you've got more than just a silver tongue.
So I would like to say to these guys, we're going to have to declare our independence from Britain. Let's finish off this Declaration of Independence and actually declare it, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Publish it. I've got a few things that I'd like to put on there before we do press send or whatever they call it.
Submit.
Yeah, let's crack on, declare our independence.
Just crack on. Can we just crack on, please?
Can we just crack on? Because I'm thinking, I wonder if I should, because there was no women in the founding fathers, and I'm not a woman, so should I try and
Have a founding mother.
get a founding mother? Or is there no time for that?
Well, I mean,
yeah, definitely.
do you, at this point, do you want to say what your ideas are for it, or do you just want to see if they'll accept this idea or not first?
Let's just barrel on. I think.
So these are your ideas.
Well, I mean, my main idea is to change the whole bit about the right to bear arms to add a clarification to it that everyone has the right to have their arms bare,
Showing.
not have sleeves.
Yeah.
When you say right to bear arms, how are you spelling bear there?
BEAR.
Yeah.
Like a.
So I'm going to
animal
correct it to BARE
Yes.
Okay, hang on.
when I
Did
spell
that right.
check.
Yeah.
Instead.
You're going to say the whole thing is about a typo.
The whole thing's a typo.
They've just spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
And it's got a totally
It's
different meaning.
actually you have the right to wear whatever you like and to let it all hang out if you want.
And then we're going to flash forward and see if
So it's like nudists. No one has guns and they're all nudists.
It's just as problematic.
Yeah. And the people who are really into their nudism and letting it all hang out are like the MAGA crowd. So they wear, like the sort of tank tops with the barest arms possible.
Make America naked again.
Yeah, and like all these woke people who try and wear sleeves are like hounded.
That's so good. Oh, honey, you've just stirred up a hornet's nest.
With the bare arms thing.
Now, let me tell you, suggesting we declare independence is like lighting a firecracker in a henhouse. It's going to ruffle some feathers. But changing the right to bear arms to bear arms? Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. That's more shocking than wearing white after Labor Day.
Why is that more shocking than declaring independence?
As soon as these words leave your mouth, the room erupts like a pot of grits on a hot stove. Thomas Jefferson's quill snaps into two.
Oh my God.
John Adams looks at you like he's about to pop his buttons. George Washington's face is so red you could fry an egg on it. Benjamin Franklin, bless his heart, is the only one who seems amused. He's chuckling so hard his belly's shaking like a bowl full of jelly. Young man, Washington says, his voice is cold as a January morning. Are you suggesting we fight a war for the right to show our arms? John Adams lumps in, his face twisted up like he's been sucking a lemon. This is preposterous. We're discussing matters of grave importance, not frivolous fashion statements. You've really stepped in it now. These founding fathers look madder than wet hens. What are you going to do, sugar? You're going to backpedal, you're going to double down, or you're going to quickly pivot to another topic?
Wow, that's really annoying. I think we could clarify some more and be like, no. You can fight a war against the British with guns. Go for it. Knock yourselves out. But afterwards, no guns. But how can I phrase that? That's not going to piss them
Just
off.
phrase it like that, I think.
Yeah.
And Darren Brown that shit.
I'm gonna use soaring rhetoric to charm my way back into all of their good books, ease the tension, and I'm like, look, gentlemen, we are at a pivotal moment in history. The eyes of the future will judge us for the actions we take in this room today. Yes, we have to defend ourselves, and we have the right to defend ourselves and go to war with the British and declare independence. That's all great.
But no automatic weapons.
But how could you tell somebody like because they're not obviously going to get.
Well, you have to say something. You're not thinking far enough into the future,
Yeah.
guys. What about the law of unintended consequences? And then you can knock on one of their heads and say, "Does that ring any bells?"
That's going to get me.
Okay,
that's
don't
gonna have
knock
an
don't
But
knock on their head.
I'm going to use my soaring speech to paint them a picture of the future world. Let's update the Constitution to say how would you phrase it?
What do you want to say?
Raise arms against the British, I suppose.
Well, yeah, we're allowed to bear arms against
the British oppressors.
the British, or yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, weapons should be kept to the professionals.
Yeah.
There's still some flex in there. Professional what?
Yeah, that's very loose, isn't it? Very loose language.
And then it
to the
flash
British.
forward to the future. And it's the same.
Yeah.
It's just different issues with the Constitution. And then the main thing is that I keep charming them so that they agree to all of this. And then I say, "Should we found this shit or what?"
And you pop a champagne cork just to sort of show that the deed is done and get everyone on board, or
Yeah, like I preemptively start shaking their hands. Before they know it, they're all shaking my hands and they're
agreeing, and you're the president.
Moving on to matters of importance. Who do we think should be the first president? I think me.
So, your soaring rhetoric starts to smooth some ruffled feathers. These gentlemen are starting to nod along, caught up in your charm offensive. It's like watching a rooster charm a henhouse. Impressive, but Lord knows where it's headed. But then, honey...
Shag 'em all, like what? She loves that roosters and henhouse metaphors.
But then, honey, you go and toss that firecracker about limiting guns? Well, if you thought you were in hot water before, you just cranked up the heat to boiling.
But I was very reasonable about it. I didn't,
Samuel Adams, yeah, he's there too. Okay. He jumps up, red-faced, and shouts, "What madness is this? The right to bear arms is fundamental to our liberty." Patrick Henry, not to be outdone, stands up so fast his wig nearly flies off. "Give me liberty or give me death," he bellows. "And that includes liberty to defend myself."
You can defend yourself. I never said you couldn't.
Did you shout that?
Yeah. You guys, jeez. These founding fathers are very tetchy, aren't they? Yeah. Very tetchy. And they go red like tomatoes a lot.
Yeah, they splutter a lot, don't
they? Guns!
I think you're going to be thrown out pretty soon.
So Samuel Adams, Patrick Henry, even old Ben Franklin, who was amused before, is looking at you like you suggested we all started speaking French. But before anyone can say tar and feather, you grab your bottle of champagne and holler, "Let's declare this shit." Well, I never. You've got these proper gentlemen looking more scandalized than a Baptist preacher at a whiskey tasting. George Washington's face goes from red to white faster than a traffic light. "Sir," he says, with his voice colder than a well-digger's posterior, "I believe you've overstepped. Guards!"
Yeah, I knew, mate.
And just like that, you're down to 2 lives. You're in a pickle bigger than Texas. These founding fathers are about ready to find you guilty of treason faster than you can say "God bless America." So what are you going to do?
But there can't be any treason because we haven't founded the country yet. So what, am I in prison now?
So you can make a break for it, use your charm and sweet talk past the guards, stand your ground and try to persuade the room that your ideas, while radical, are the key to winning the war against Britain, or apologize profusely, blame your outburst on ale, and beg for a chance to redeem yourself.
I'm sorry, I was drunk. Please, can I be on Mount Rushmore?
I don't want to apologise. I want to convince them, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince them. They seem very stuck in their way.
Can you
It's like, what is the quickest way of persuading them? Maybe, okay.
Start singing Black Eyed Peas, "Where Is the Love?" Dun.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
So, well, let's test that, Claude, then. So I say, "Wait, I have something to show you that's going to blow your..." I was going to say feeble minds, but I need to... No. It's going to blow
amazing minds.
I pull out a Bluetooth speaker from my pocket, slam it on the table in the middle of the Constitution, and I put on the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah!
Crank the volume, and I start singing "Where Is the Love?" And no one is going to stop me until the end of the song. So if anyone tries to stop me, I just make it louder and louder, hold the speaker higher and higher. And because I'm from the future, I'm actually a lot taller than they are. They're probably a lot
So they
shorter.
literally can't get it off you.
They can't get it off me because I'm the tallest person in the room because I'm from the future. Yeah, I stand there holding the speaker up high, singing, "People singing, people dance." I don't know how it goes anymore.
People killing, people dying.
And using my beautiful voice at my powers of persuasion, I basically hypnotise the whole room into following my every word. And then instead of saying I'm going to change the Constitution, I just say, "Well done, guys. I'll do the final spell check." And
and then you actually...
And then I'll just add all that stuff that I wanted to add anyway after they've signed it, so they don't realise that they've agreed to.
So you're tricking them into signing something which is bogus.
So the Constitution is actually going to be a bit more modern, and they don't realise it until it's too late, at which point nothing they can do. Piece of paper's got the ink on it.
And they've signed it.
And they've signed it. Mount Rushmore, here I come.
Job's a good one.
I've charmed them to the point of stupidity. Really,
They're gone delirious.
They're delirious with their awe over me, and they'll follow me to the ends of the earth.
So, just a quick point of clarification. The Constitution did not go into effect the moment it was signed by the delegates. It needed to be approved by the people through the ratification process.
Well, that's when I'm going to go on tour. And they're going to freaking love it,
And you're going to just be singing the same song over and over.
Well, no. It'll be like, the Taylor Swift tour where there's just like fans everywhere. That's kind of what the ratification process is going to be.
Yeah.
So what would, if Taylor Swift fans are called Swifties, what would Rhinardo fans be called? Nardos.
Nardos. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to go well for you. That fancy little boombox of yours, it's about as out of place here as a snowball in July. These gentlemen are looking at you like you've grown 2 heads and started speaking in tongues. George Washington's eyes are as wide as saucers. John Adams looks like he's seen a ghost. And Paul Thomas Jefferson, well, he's gone rather wider than a sheet on a wash day.
So it was tomatoes, now they're white.
They've gone
They're pale.
past red into deathly white. Okay.
Benjamin Franklin, bless his heart, he was the only one who ever seemed remotely intrigued, but even he's backing away slowly.
So they're basically thinking I'm an alien or something.
I think this guy is just
With my little
dangerous.
Bluetooth speaker.
Your singing might be sweeter than honey, your persuasion skills sharper than attack, but darling, you've just broken the biggest rule of time travel quicker than a jackrabbit on a date. Bloody hell. You've introduced something from the future that's changing history faster than you can say anarchism.
Okay.
Was this the Bluetooth speaker has taken over
So
centre stage?
you've
thought about
basically
that.
you've lost another life and you're down to now 1.
Because of the Bluetooth speaker?
Yeah. The room is in uproar. Some are shouting about witchcraft.
So the speaker exists. So I was able to take it out of my pocket, but they just lost their
but
shit.
As a yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, it talks!
I think so,
Yeah. So this is now your final chance, because that's not going to get accepted, because in time travel you cannot just bring something from the future according to this prompt.
Okay.
So the room is in uproar.
Okay.
Some are shouting about witchcraft, others about British spies. And let me tell
Piece
you,
of
none of
spyware.
them are in the mood to be singing declarations or listening to your amendments. So you're in a pickle now. These founding fathers are looking at you like the devil himself, and they're about to show you the door, or worse, the gallows. So you've got 3 options. This is your last chance to save your bacon.
Is one of them breakdancing?
Call your mate Will. Will,
I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I'm trying to persuade some old geezers.
Mr. I Am. Come clean about being from the future, explain the importance of their work, and beg them to forget what they've seen for the sake of history. Use your last ounce of persuasive power to convince them that this was all an elaborate illusion,
That's
meant
what
to
I
them
was thinking.
inspire them greatness. Or make a run for it, hoping to find your way back to your own time zone before you change history that more than you already
To
have.
find your own time zone. Just
Run
keep
so
on running.
fast that I go back into the future.
Yeah.
Like hit
quite
88
weird.
miles an hour or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Basically, that's saying that if I'd have done all of that without the Bluetooth speaker, just sung it, probably would have been fine. And I'd be on my
I reckon they would have
maybe.
probably hung you, but no, you sort of turbocharged their suspicions.
So I could probably convince them that they were seeing something and that was just like a magic trick. But then how does that help me amend the Constitution?
Get onto Rushmore.
And get onto Rushmore.
Doesn't sound like you're going to get onto Rushmore. It's not boding well for you so far.
I suppose I could, like, new plan, go find the artist who does Rushmore and just
I thought you were going to say who wrote Where's the Love?
and just like, hold his family hostage until he casts my face onto the mountain.
Oh, wow. That's a real turn. But hang on. So there's an angle here, because if you can impress them by the fact that you're from the future and you're this, like, kind of enigma that's just appeared, surely that would get you on Mount Rushmore.
I think I'm going to have to do that, because it's either convince them that they didn't see it, which is just going to lead to more problems. If I say I'm from the future, yeah, that's obviously, rabbits out of the hat. But at this point, I'm basically fucked anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to say, guys, don't worry. I've got
Cards on the table.
cards on the table. I have a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. I am from the future. And then, I'm trying to convince them of the importance of this moment in history and a few minor changes that everyone that we think we should make. That's Bluetooth speaker. This is from the future.
It's perfectly normal. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
it's not witchcraft.
I could play some of the tunes. I could maybe like record into it and play it back.
It's just get them to speak into your phone, and then you just play it back on the Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that?
I could ask them, look, what kind of music you guys into? I might have some on this device, or I just try and assassinate them all. Maybe I am a British spy.
Ah, okay.
I don't think that would work.
That's not going to work.
There's too many of them, and only one of you. I like this. I think you just you've come clean. You're honest.
Yeah.
At last.
But I could say to them, look, I can help you out now, because what is it that you want to know about the future? I can give you
tips.
I can give you tips and deets.
Basically, you're saying I'm a prophet.
Yeah.
I'm a literal prophet.
I'm literally a prophet. Worship me. No.
Basically, Dolly, I'm a prophet, yeah.
And I'm going to be working 9 to 5 to fix this country.
Yes. So yeah, you've come clean. You've told them, look, I'm from the future. This is a speaker. Look how you can record stuff. It's so cool. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, guys.
Now the cat's at the bag. I can help you. What do you want to know about the future? I can help you write this declaration. So she's gone to a different way of explaining things here. She's gone, now let's break this down like a country song. You're trying to explain a cell phone to men who think electricity is Ben Franklin's kite experiment. It's like trying to teach a horse to sing opera. You might get their attention, but it won't like the tune. As you're showing off that gadget of yours, recording their voices and playing it back, I swear I can see the colour draining from their faces.
Even more.
Even more. They're like grey now or whatever. Poor Thomas Jefferson looks like he's about to faint dead away. George Washington is the first to find his voice. Witchcraft, he bellows, face redder than a tomato in August. This man is a league with dark forces. John Adams starts shouting about British spies. The room is in more of an uproar. And
so they don't believe I'm from the future?
No, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your plan to play prophet is backfiring worse than my old pickup truck.
That was one of the suggestions.
These men are God-fearing folks who take their religion as seriously as their politics. Claiming to be a prophet, well, that's like throwing gasoline on a brush
But if
fire.
they're God-fearing, pay
attention.
I'm a prophet.
You should have said you're Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, darling, but you just used up your last life. You've changed history more than a tornado changes a trailer park. Dark. The founding fathers are in such a tizzy, they've forgotten all about independence and are now focused on what to do with you. As the guards start moving in, time starts to shimmer away and shake around you. It looks like your meddling with history has caught up with you faster than gossip on a quilting bee. Game over, Ryanardo.
Did I just basically pause and then just
got sucked out of existence?
But do you want the epilogue?
Well, it almost implied that there's not going to be an independent. There's not going to be America.
Can we? Can we shoot forward? I don't know. Has it given you one already?
Yeah.
I want to find out if I made it to Mount Rushmore.
Basically, the flapping of that butterfly's wings. How has it sort of rippled through history?
Yeah, it did shake things up a little bit. So in the years that followed, the American Revolution took a very different turn. Spooked by your futuristic devices and all the talk of prophecy, the founding fathers became convinced that dark forces were at work. Instead of declaring independence, they doubled down on their loyalty to the crown.
Oh my God!
Believing it was the only way to protect themselves from witchcraft. The Declaration of Independence was never signed. George III, taking advantage of the colony's newfound devotion, imposed even stricter rules. The dream of American independence faded. As for you, Ryanardo, your name went down in secret history books as the mysterious stranger who appeared out of nowhere and vanished just as quick, leaving behind a legacy of confusion and missed opportunity.
So there's no United States of America. Well,
better luck next time.
To all of our American listeners, sorry for destroying your country.
It never happened because you scared them off.
I played some Will I Am on his Bluetooth.
Dun, dun, dun. I beat one now. I got a feeling
that this country ain't gonna exist.
So you didn't get on the Mount Rushmore, but
did it say that specifically?
Hang on a sec.
So the US is still part of Britain in
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, Britain's colony, the United. Well, what would it be called? The Americas still? Like, what is Britain's colony called then? I reckon they still have a Mount Rushmore, but with different people on it. Am I on it? I honestly was not expecting it to go that way.
Well, they doubled down.
we just won't declare independence then.
You scared him, man.
This
That
crazy
sort of
man
shit freaks
came
them
in.
out.
He was so charming, and then he produced this freaky device from his pocket. Oh man.
Okay, so the land that would have been called the United States is still part of the British Empire. So they're calling it British North America.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore, there ain't no giant faces carved into it. That was an American idea through and through. Without USA, that mountain's just another pretty rock in the countryside. And you on Mount Rushmore, well, that's like expecting a cat to bark. If anything, they'd probably put up a wanted posters of you saying, "Beware the man with the magic music box." The only place your face might end up is in some dusty old history book filed under mysterious strangers who nearly upended the empire. Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
So
Well, congratulations on messing things up.
So ironically, when we first did a hard mode and I tried to secretly save the British Empire, I've now wasn't trying to do that and succeeded. So
Yeah. Well, time is a fickle mistress.
That was a journey, I gotta tell you. It was a roller coaster. Bloody hell.
yeah, I was not expecting the twists at the end.
You died 3 times, but still stopped the foundation of America.
Yeah. What can I say? All in a day's work.
Okay, well, we'll have to get revenge one day for our American fans, and instead of doing that, we will do a takeover of Britain from America.
Turn it into an American
America
colony.
will colonize Britain, yeah.
51st state.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock, so our meter's going to run out. And we're not putting another pound in there. But please come to our live show. It's happening on the 20th of October on a Sunday afternoon in Balham, the Bedford pub. If you go on cheerfulearful.co.uk, you can get your tickets there. Please come along. We'd love to see you and for you to see us on stage.
Yeah, and as always, follow us on socials. Let us know what you thought of today's episode. And tune in next time for more PastMaster adventures. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.